a ride is out of the question.
Down with this sort of thing. Careful now. The nation holds its breath. Yes!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Friends in Low Places, the podcast where four middle-aged Irishmen discuss a variety of topics while trying to come to terms with the fact that things sure ain't like they used to be. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you all doing?
How's it going, Sean? How are you?
Hey,
How's
Sean.
everybody?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy
Happy
Valentine's Day, guys.
to all our viewers and listeners. And
We're recording on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day, or so I'm reliably informed.
feel the love, yeah.
Feel love, yeah.
Neither of the four of us have a valid excuse for forgetting Valentine's Day this year.
No.
I guess what's our Valentine's Day is this Valentine's special podcast. That's what I'm given.
Proof how incredibly romantic we all are.
Or not.
Or not.
Anyway, now in today's episode entitled Love Factually, we're going to explore romance and relationships. But Niall, you've taken the hindsight perspective in that what advice would you give to your 21-year-old self? Mike, you're going to look through the lens of how romance changes as we get older. You got to try. And Aaron asked the big question and the brave question and perhaps potentially the boldest question. Would you do it all over again?
Yeah, so audience and viewers, I am going to be hung out to dry. Go on.
Okay.
Don't show Suzanne the podcast until afterwards.
She's a good sense of humour. Go on.
And who knows, we might have time at the end for another quiz. First, let me hit you with some unusual facts about St. Valentine's Day. So, the origins of St. Valentine's Day. The most famous legend says that the Valentine of Rome secretly married couples when Emperor Claudius II banned marriages for young men, and that was because young men were soldiers and they weren't supposed to get married. But this bloke Valentine, anyway, he went off and he married people. And then he was caught, and his jailer's blind daughter was healed by this Valentine. Seems like a great guy. And the final farewell note before he was executed, he signed it, "From your Valentine." So that's where "From your Valentine" is supposed to come from. And then we move on to the 5th century, where the Vatican declared the 14th of February St. Valentine's Day. That was more to Christianize an existing Roman festival at the time. And then the kind of romance started coming in around the 14th century, where you had some writers that popularized the idea that birds chose their mates in mid-February, linking the date with courtly love and then throwing in a bit of poetry and devotion into that.
It's impressive, yeah.
Yeah, and then nobles started exchanging love notes on the 14th of February, and the vibe kind of took off from there, I guess. And then by 18th and 19th centuries, handwritten cards, flowers and chocolates took over and helped by mass printing and clever marketing. So what began as a kind of martyrdom of one guy called Valentine moved on to rituals, and that evolved into candles, cards, and potentially awkward podcast quizzes. And that's where we are today in Valentine's. So when it comes to expenditure on Valentine's Day, have a guess which country spends the most?
I'd say Ireland. I spend loads anyway. I don't know.
Wouldn't have the foggiest, Shawnee.
Italy, surely. Or France.
France.
Who goes big on everything?
America?
Exactly. But they spent in 2025 $7.5 billion on one day of the year.
And do we know how much per head? So
yeah, that works out about $189 per head.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Some money, yeah. You can imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
we should got the same statistics for Christmas Day shopping. And then after that, UK, they spend around £80 to £100. So it's 90 to around €110. And in Ireland, 143 million is spent today.
140 million. Well, yeah, I would have a little bit in that, yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of works out at €27 per person, but that's probably a little bit higher because that takes into account the whole population.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kids
but it's still, yeah, exactly, but still quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. Flowers and a card, and I'm due to pick up a takeaway later on, so I'd say I'm heading north of €150 at this stage.
I'd say we'd be heading north of, I don't know, 1,000.
Yeah.
No, we're going out for a meal later. I don't know.
Yeah.
That seems average enough to me. It does, yeah, in fairness, yeah.
Yeah. You
No.
wouldn't see it going,
No.
in
No,
fairness,
you wouldn't.
with the price of things nowadays.
No.
Sound like my
Well,
mother.
I lit the fire. Does that count?
It does, Shawnee, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
I'm okay then.
Filled the dishwasher before I came on this podcast.
That's double points.
Extra brownie points.
Extra
yeah.
brownie points for that. And just a little, I had a look at how it's celebrated in different cultures around the world, and it's quite varied actually. So I just picked out my 3 favorites. In Japan, women give chocolate to men on the 14th of February,
Okay.
not the other way around, which is good. In Germany, pigs are a symbol of luck and lust. Chocolate is given in the shape of a pig
Okay.
in Germany.
They might just have a ham sandwich or something. Like, I don't know.
The flask of tea.
Or you get a ham sandwich in the shape of a heart.
And a pink snack.
I can imagine if I turned up with a ham sandwich and a flask of tea for Ashley and how that would go down, yeah.
Not so sure that would go down too well. But my favourite, I think, is in Wales. And I didn't know this at all, actually. So instead of cards, lovers exchange wooden carved love spoons. Yeah. So yeah, that's nice. Also, I guess if she's not happy with what you've got her, she can give you a whack across the head with it.
Give him or her the wooden spoon.
And yeah.
We'll be talking about wooden spoons maybe a little bit later on in the podcast.
I'm scared. Look, scared. I'm leaving. Go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about the different cultures, how much everybody is crazy enough to spend, and the origins of Valentine's Day. Niall,
Very
what
good.
advice would you give to your younger self?
Yeah, probably lots, as it turns out. So I suppose when it comes to relationships and love and all of that side of things, I'd probably describe myself as a slow learner. And I'm not sure how quick or not I've picked up the pace in the intervening years. But certainly I got lots of advice over the years, and I'm still unsure on this, to be quite honest with you. So I don't know if the advice was bad advice or it was just bad advice for me. I'm not quite sure. So basically what I'm trying to do here, I suppose, is if you could travel back in time and give your 21-year-old self a bit of advice, what bit of advice would you give to yourself that you would listen to? And is there perhaps a piece of advice that you needed at that stage, but you know with the benefit of hindsight that there's no way that you would have kind of listened to it at the time? So what I thought I'd do just to start it off is I'm going to go through 10 pieces of advice. Now these come in various different guises, so you don't necessarily hear them exactly as I'm going to describe them here, but I'm sure we've all heard a fair share of them over the years. So I suppose first what I'm looking for is this good advice? Is it bad advice? So at number 10, I've put just be yourself. So what do we think of that as advice? Good, bad, or indifferent?
I think it's very good, but obviously it's a hard thing to do at times, you know.
Okay, absolutely, yeah.
Don't be fake. Like, don't lose your friends. Don't focus on the one thing in your life. Don't forget your friends, your hobbies. So that's a great piece of advice, but it's probably one of the hardest to follow, you know.
Okay, and with that extent, you don't need to make too many changes to yourself or about yourself to be in a relationship. Is that one and the same thing?
Well, I know that now, but back then, like, you're probably more influenced by people, what they thought, weren't you? Outer influences, like, you know.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, lads?
Yeah, I think when you're that young, it's easier to say it yourself, or just be yourself when you're older, I guess. Yeah,
that's a fair point. Yeah,
you've got as a young person, it's kind of hard because I guess you have this kind of need to impress, so you kind of end up not being yourself and trying to be someone else maybe.
And you're probably still in the process of getting to know yourself, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, here's another one for you, and again, it comes in different guises, different words. You'll just know. So, in other words, when you meet the right person, you'll just know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I definitely someone who trusts my own gut feeling about things. Might be slow to get to that, but definitely I think you just know.
Yeah, no, I will say when I met Aisling, I could definitely see that was broadly accurate. The issue I would have with that, until you meet that person, it still sounds a bit kind of skeptical to me. So again, prior to meeting Aisling, if someone had said that to me, I would have been quite skeptical. Obviously, after having the experience, so to speak, I would be less skeptical. Another one for you here, folks. Opposites attract.
I would agree with that one, yeah, definitely.
Does that mean yourself and Suzanne are opposite in certain ways?
There's some big differences, yeah. I mean, yeah, but it seems to work most of the time, so I would agree with that one, yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
Don't know to be as far left and far right
Mm.
as each other. I think we'd be maybe sort of somewhere in between, you know. I wouldn't say polar opposite. I don't know. Do I know of anybody even in a relationship that are a couple that are complete polar opposite?
Yeah, I would say myself and Aisling are fairly different in certain ways, but what I would say is we share a very similar set of values. So I think you can have differences, strengths and weaknesses, different interests, stuff like that. But if your values are particularly different, I think that's a problem.
It's a middle ground that's the same.
No, I think it's a really good point. I think it's your values that keep you together or make you come together, if you like. But I think it's important to have differences, otherwise it can be boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To
You probably want a bit of both, don't you? You want probably some commonalities and then some difference as well.
Yeah.
Almost
exactly.
like a balance between the two things. Sure, you've heard this one. Don't go to bed angry.
Yeah, that's very true.
Stay up and fight.
Don't go to bed angry. Have a fight outside the bedroom door, then go to bed. No, but
All right.
it's true. Yeah, it's very apparently it's not good for your health going to bed angry.
Difficult to do though, depending on the nature of the kind of argument or disagreement to begin with, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very good advice, but it's very hard to execute.
Yeah, the other, and this is more of a general point than necessarily just a relationship point. The ability to have a conversation about something and work out a compromise, or it's dependent on two people being open to that in the first place. So if you've one of the two that's not open, it's not really going to happen. So in that sense, it can actually just go and make things worse. So I suppose sometimes there's a timing element, which I think I've gotten better with over the years, because I'm a big believer in kind of communication and hashing things out and so on and so forth. But I'm not sure my timing was always the best. I'd want to do that straight away, whereas I think sometimes there's a value in waiting a little while until things calm down, because then both people are more open to kind of hearing what each has to say, you know.
Yeah, totally agree.
Love conquers all.
God, that's the old one, isn't it?
Or all you need is love.
That's a good song. Yeah. I don't know. That's a bit corny for me, but anyway, I don't know. It's more about communication, isn't it?
I think it's a fantastic starting point, and it's probably a critical starting point, but you know, you do need more than that, as far as I'm concerned, to make a relationship work.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Niall. I think at the beginning, love conquers all.
Yeah.
As the further you go and the longer you go into a relationship, you need a bit more, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, patience, lots of patience and communication, and becoming more open-minded.
Yeah. Now, what would we say? Because I've definitely been in the situation where, with due respect, I probably haven't had the love to begin with, and I've tried to make the relationship work. And in some cases, I'm sure so has the other person. And you could try hard to make it work.
Yeah.
But it probably ain't going to work.
Wasn't meant to be, yeah.
So in essence, while it's the starting point, as Sean has said, I do think it still needs to be there as the starting point.
Yeah, totally agree.
Communication is key.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Still learning that, yeah. I actually listen more than I used to now. So definitely.
Nothing was ever resolved without talking.
Yeah. And the other thing I notice is I think that while myself and Aisling are both fans of communication and we like to communicate, we're kind of different types of communicators, or we have different styles in terms of communication. I'm very direct, whereas she's a lot more subtle. So sometimes we have to tailor our styles, so to speak, to kind of meet the other person somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I agree totally. Suzanne's very direct as well, and sometimes I'm just waffling on, but I'm getting a bit better, but eventually we come to some form of compromise. But yeah, as you said, opposites, yeah.
This one, I think this one applies to me for sure. Don't ignore red flags.
Yeah.
Back to the gut feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not so good at that.
Okay. Yeah. I would say I definitely wasn't so good at that. And the other thing is, even there's also amber flags, I would say, that are not just red flags. I wasn't particularly good at those either.
Yeah.
But when you get a green flag, it's great. Go on.
Yeah.
Don't walk into the trap.
If it's meant to be, it'll be easy.
No.
No, I don't think so, no.
Would you agree with if it's meant to be, it'll be easier?
Well, it should be easier if you have a bit of a click, yeah.
Yeah. So the way I would, again, I'm coming at it from a very kind of mathematical point of view. So in other words, if you're kind of 80% compatible, so to speak, to begin with, then there's 20% that you need to work on.
Yeah.
if you're only 40% compatible to begin with, then there's 60% that you need to work on.
Yeah.
Example 1 may be worth it. Example 2 is probably not going to be worth it because it's just too difficult a task for the two people involved. Okay. Okay. And I would have been a big believer in this, but I think it's got a qualification that perhaps I didn't see at that stage. Plenty more fish in the sea.
Plenty of sharks.
Yeah.
Yes, there is plenty more fish in the sea.
But you might still have to catch a lot of fish to find the fish that you like eating, Shawnee.
Oh my God, this is like, yeah.
So what I mean by that is,
True.
if you look at the human population that is whatever 6-7 billion, whatever it is, I'm sure there's a significantly large group of people that are compatible to you. When you, in percentage terms of the overall population, I think it's minuscule, right? So certainly from my point of view, I go back to Mike's point. So the reason why I kind of brought this up is I didn't listen to my gut or my instinct at the time, Mike. In lots of cases, I listened to other people's advice, albeit it was well-meaning. And in my case, had I listened to my instinct and my gut back in the day, it probably would have kept me more on the straight and narrow. I certainly would have got myself into less trouble and problems, so to speak. So I suppose looking back, you're 21 years old. 2 bits of advice I'm looking for. The first bit of advice is a piece of advice that would be valuable for you and you would be open to hearing back then. And the second bit of advice is a bit of advice that certainly you should have heard, or if you heard it would have been very useful, but you know that there's no way you would have been open to hearing that advice back in the day. Starting with yourself, Mikey, talking to your 21-year-old self, what bit of advice did you need that you'd have been open to hearing? What bit of advice did you need that you wouldn't have been open to hearing?
You're too young to settle down.
Okay. That's the one you would have been open to heering.
Would have been open to hearing.
Okay. And the bit that you needed, but you just wouldn't have listened,
is don't eat yellow snow.
That one for years now, yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Hard to know, guys. Yeah. It's a bit like when you know, you know.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Fair point. Okay. Aaron.
Niall. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say advice that I would have listened to.
Yeah. And that would have been valuable.
Well, just be yourself, don't be fake, and try and maintain the friendships around you without trying to be somebody else. It's easy to say that now, but...
Okay, yeah, and difficult for a 21-year-old to
take on board, yeah.
Yeah. And a bit of advice that perhaps would have been valuable, but you know your 21-year-old self wouldn't have been open to, wouldn't have listened to.
Enjoy the ride and don't be worrying about stupid stuff when you're at that age, so... Forgive the pun, but anyway, yeah.
And the ride meaning life here, yeah?
Ride meaning life, yeah, whatever we want to conjure up. Yeah,
yeah, advice, I would say don't think about it too much. Just go with the flow.
Okay.
Just let it roll and see what happens.
Okay.
I think I just thought about things too much and how the future would look when I was that age. And then advice that I wouldn't have listened to, but you're a bit too young to settle down, mate. Enjoy life. And don't drink. And don't drink snake.
Or 7 or 10, yeah.
God, that's for another podcast.
Ironically, Mikey's advice, trust your gut, trust your instinct. I probably needed that advice and needed to hear that. And I think I probably would have been open to hearing it. I just needed someone to say it or say it in a way that I understand. And I think the bit of advice that I probably wouldn't have listened to, but in actual fact would have been very valuable to me at the time, is to have patience. Okay. So if someone could have communicated to me approximately, I appreciate they couldn't communicate with me specifically, that I would meet the person. Yes, I would be in my kind of early to mid 40s, so to speak, but she would arrive, albeit it'd take a while. I think that would have been very good advice for me, because I wouldn't have gotten myself into as much hassle perhaps as I did. But there's no way I would have listened to it.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our advice to our 21-year-old selves, Shawnee.
Very interesting. Very. I wonder. I mean, we would have been all sitting around sculling pints, giving each other advice back in the day. Would have been great.
Shite advice at that.
Yeah, it's a pity podcasts weren't around then, because I would love to listen back to what advice we gave ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, Niall. That was super interesting, actually. Really super interesting. So, Mike, we change, we grow old. How does romance evolve with us? Or
I
does
don't know
it?
if I'm qualified to speak on this yet. Maybe I need another 20 years or so. Let's jump into it and see how we get on. So, guys, what is romance for ye? Is it candlelit dinner, the violin playing kind, or is it the type that involves one person snoring like a train while the other lies awake thinking their life choices, and if I killed him now when I first met him, I'd be out by now. Is that what romance is about a number of years later? Possibly it is. Let's face it, I suppose from a romance point of view, over time, it peaks and troughs. Sometimes it fades, a little bit. Sometimes it just grows up a bit. We get more responsibilities. Like early romance, that puppy dog, giddy feeling, Niall, you're probably still in that phase a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Ashley that. But
Yeah. Or is it more longer term romance? It's like that old dependable Labrador who occasionally steals your food, but you love them unconditionally. Is that what we're evolving to? Like no one ever warns us that forever is forever. Suddenly it is forever, as I was reminded recently when we were making a joke about.
well, it's till death us do part in many cases, yeah.
Yeah,
Not quite forever.
like when I suppose you have the early days where you're in that puppy dog love period. Suddenly responsibilities, mortgages, kids, all that arrive on the scene, and then you start heading out the other side of that where kids are now moving away again, and you're back
Yeah.
to being those two people sitting around the house on your own again, trying to fill time. Or what did you do with all the time you now have spare? What did you do back in the day when it was just the two of you? Maybe it's kind of like I suppose romance gets revived a bit, maybe.
Well, to quote Aaron, we enjoyed the ride.
So and again, I'm not a romantic person. It's arguable that I don't understand romance, as in I have no concept of romance, particularly if you talk to Ashley. Right? So is love and romance one and the same thing, or are they different things? Or are they separate things?
For me, they're separate.
Interesting.
I think they're separate. I think romance is like an added bonus to love.
Okay, but what's the difference, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, love is like you said earlier on. It's you just know, right?
Yeah.
You just know. And then for me, romance then is the kind of the little things that come with it, like I'm not like sympathy. I'm like you know, I'm not very, very romantic.
But do the little things that come with it not just come with it? So you know what I mean?
No, but if you pick up on something that she likes that maybe she hasn't noticed you've picked up on, and then you deliver that a little bit later. Like that's kind of to a little bit go back to your question, Mike. What is romance? For me, it's noticing the little things, like I don't know, a reference to like a gig that she might want to go to see, but like she mentioned it like 2 years ago. And I somehow make a mental note, and then 2 years later, if wherever they're playing, that still have that, or I think things like that, or having the fire on and the dinner ready and the dog walked, and that she just has to put up her feet when she comes home. Things like that. For me, that's how I see romance. And I think love is just you do it because you love the person, right? Romance is the doing it. Love is just it. I gotta stop talking now because
you can hold there.
Yeah,
Yeah, guys. Nobody warns us, that forever, includes things like arguments like, you left the immersion on, or you left your gym gear in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Those moments where, you look at your partner, and you say to yourself, I adore you, but if you don't stop breathing so loudly, I'm going to kill you. But yet, beneath the madness, there's something incredible there that's a strong bond between a couple relationship, that's hard to, I think we all experience it, but very hard to put your finger on what that one thing is. In the beginning, it's that, as I said, it's magical heart flutters. They seem flawless to you and you seem flawless to them. You'd happily drive an hour down the road to see them for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
Or maybe in our teens, you might have cycled for an hour to see them for 10 minutes,
So can I drag the tone down but in a kind of a serious way, ironically, all right? Because this is something obviously recently that I've experienced in one sense, and then because I've experienced it, I perhaps started to see the world a little bit differently, at least in this kind of respect, right? But someone recently came up to me, isn't a million miles removed in age from myself, and had known, because they'd overheard another conversation, that I'd kind of fallen in love for the first time relatively recently, so they kind of came up to me. They thought something similar was happening for them. And I suppose when you fall in love and you're, 40 or 50 or whatever it is versus 17 or 20 or 25 or whatever it is, it's probably perhaps different to recognize, I expect. But they said to me basically to describe their situation and so on and so forth, and how would I know that it's love, right? And I gave them a very, in some peculiar, I suppose, interpretation. But I genuinely believe this. This is a serious point, right? And I'm going to give you the backstory in a minute. But basically, if the person you were with, if they were to get sick, and by sick I mean seriously sick, right? Could you see yourself wiping their arse? Okay. And I'm dead serious here, right? To me,
I know. I'm sorry, but
to me, this is the most cut to the chase definition of love that you can possibly get. It gets you right there. And the reason I say this is, and again, it was something, so as you know, my dad passed away, he had dementia. My mother looked after him, in his kind of dying days or when he was sick. Again, from Aislinn's point of view, this is one of the things that we have in common. Her mum has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Right. And her dad looked after her mum for a long period. Now, to see the kind of dedication and the caring and so on and so forth, right, that they provided for the person, you just can't do that unless you love the other person.
No.
It's just, you can be the nicest person in the world, but you can't just do that every single day unless you love the other person. And as I witnessed that happen, I realised that, well, hold on a second. That is ultimately the litmus test of love. So in other words, if you can imagine the other person being sick and imagine you caring for them to the point of having to wipe their backside, to me, that's it. So I don't know if that's romantic or love or vice versa or whatever, but that's the extent of my understanding on it, so to speak.
So just based on that, long-term romance built around tiny moments, that being that supportive team player, the inside jokes that only you get between yourselves, even if you're at a family event, nobody has a clue why you're laughing at each other, but it's just those things that you pick up on and you suddenly are linked on, working together to help each other out. And I suppose for many, the endless logistics of life, the dividing up, the divide and conquer, as we say here in this household, it's bringing one person this way, another person that way, going to horse riding, football, hurling,
logistics,
gym, whatever, work, or in Niall's case, cleaning their backside, is what long-term are those things that are built around long-term romance or long-term love. But there's also the chaos, the battleground seems to be the kitchen, making dinner, the blanket hugger, those little things that all go on in our lives. Sometimes romance just randomly.
Are you the blanket hugger, Mikey?
No, I live with one of those, and we eventually decided that we're just going to get the biggest duvet we can find, and now we don't have a problem anymore.
Yeah, did you see there recently? There's strong science or evidence or studies to suggest that sleeping in separate beds is actually, rather than unhealthy for a relationship, is actually healthy for a relationship.
Well, every now and again, I'd imagine so, yeah.
I think is it the Dutch or one of the Europeans? It's a relatively standard practice. It's not unusual, far from it.
It's very Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Well, we have separate mattresses.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's that's common in Europe, Shawnee, isn't it?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to one person be roasting and the other person be freezing, or vice versa. You have your own setup, whatever that is.
And I like a good firm mattress. My wife likes a bit softer.
Right.
But just go back to your point on wiping the bums.
Yeah, I think that's love.
You didn't think you'd be talking about that and Valentine's Day.
But I wasn't expecting that to come out of your mouth. I don't think it's romance.
It's dedication. That's love.
I think it's love.
Yeah.
I think it's by far the most romantic thing you could do for anyone. Like, you seriously have to be into them to be prepared to do that. It's much
Yeah.
easier to buy than flowers
It's, I mean,
or chocolates or whatever.
True, yeah, but I mean, I don't know what you've got planned for tonight, but I think I know Ashley a little bit well now. I don't know.
She's.
I would imagine she'd prefer a nice glass of wine and a nice
Yeah,
dip.
no, tonight certainly I think she'd prefer the wine than me wiping her bum, Shawnee. Yeah.
The from so sometimes romance can probably leave the chat randomly, but it always returns for me. Sometimes we just go through, I think Valentine's Day is a good thing to reset you at the start of the year, because everybody's depressed, I think, nearly in January. Christmas is over, and it's just dreary, and then you get to Valentine's Day and you're kind of going, okay, refocus again at each other,
Can I just I think I have to hold my hand up here. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We don't celebrate Valentine's Day, and that's mainly driven by me and my cynicism of a made up day.
A made up day, yeah.
I could buy my wife flowers any day of the week. I don't need a day to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm inclined to agree with you, but at the same time, maybe we're not. So I think it's what you do day to day, absolutely, rather than what you do on one day that ultimately is important. To be honest with you, Valentine's Day has very little value whatsoever for me, other than it's a bit for Ashley, and that's fine, and I'm kind of happy to go along. But I do agree with you. I think it's been commercialised to such an extent that it's almost nauseating at this point.
Yeah.
But it depends how you celebrate. I mean, you don't have to get wrapped up in all the bullshit. Like, we'll go out for a meal later on, and it's just nice to go out for an evening and drinking. But I know what you're saying. It's commercialised. Yeah, it's really gone that way. Whatever way you want to do it,
So, Mike, you're wrapping up.
Yeah. That's it for me, guys. Thanks very much.
Okay. Cheers, Mike.
Well done, Mike.
Aaron, you've taken the brave step to ask the question, would you do it all over again?
But yeah, why did I take this section? I know.
Because you're the bravest of the lot of us.
So if you're single in the morning, listeners, would you do it again at your middle age, 40s and 50s? I'm with Suzanne since 1998, so I actually haven't dated since 1998, but she'd be glad to know that too. But it would be totally different nowadays, wouldn't it?
Hopefully she's not having to wait for this podcast to find that out, Aaron.
She's not. She's knocking here in the office window, but because like we met in the local pub. Give Morrissey's a shout out, and
where
the disco.
Great relationship start.
Back then, the slow set was there, and I had to pluck up the courage, go over and ask her to dance. It was probably more personable, but nowadays, what is it? Tinder or swipe up, down, left, right, or something? Is it? Or no, don't swipe at all? Is it? Or
does anyone know why they got rid of the slow set?
I don't know, Niall. Well, there isn't even a disco in this town anymore, but I don't know. Like, where did the
the slow set, they got rid of the slow set, before Tinder and all of that type of stuff. So it's one of life's great unexplained mysteries for me, why the slow set disappeared.
Well, maybe the disco used to be 3 hours. Was it an hour then or something? Speed it up. I don't know. But as I said, I probably wouldn't cope with the dating scene nowadays. So no, I wouldn't do it again. No.
I'd say around the slow set thing, Niall, I'd say it evolved. Okay, I wasn't in a nightclub in a long time. But back in the earlier days, probably found that the slow set wasn't filling the floor, and nightclubs just took it away. It filled the floor when I was going to nightclubs.
Yeah, it seemed to me to be more sudden than that. It didn't gradually kind of drift out. It seemed to, over the course of maybe a couple of years, and again, this is my recollection, it kind of disappeared altogether. And I've never had anyone kind of adequately, and again, this predates the internet and kind of stuff like that. I think the question, Aaron, in fairness, is not necessarily if you'd start again now, is if you had your time back.
Yeah.
Would you do it all again? Which I'm sure you would.
But you'd have to do something. You would,
yeah. Well, there you go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's also probably hasn't been any decent slow songs.
Do you know one thing I will say though, again, having gone through the experience, and again, it goes back to kind of one of the earlier things that we talked about. What I will say about people when they're dating, when they're older, they will generally tend to have a stronger sense of themselves to begin with, and they will generally tend to have a stronger sense of their likes and dislikes, what they want and don't want, versus when you were younger, right?
Yeah.
So I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, there's things about it that are more challenging, but by the same token, I think there are things about it that are almost less challenging as well. So for instance, and as I said before, I online dated and so on and so forth, people would be generally quite forthcoming, relatively speaking, about what they wanted and they didn't want. And I found that very refreshing, if I'm honest about it. Now, more often than not, I was in the don't want category, but even that of itself is quite a valuable thing to know early days, you know?
So you were saying it wasn't all that scary.
No, because back when you're younger, there's more of a kind of, you're trying to almost impress the person, or you know what I mean? So like, you're not going to meet someone to Mike's point, on the slow set in the Royal Hotel and go, how are you doing? This is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. Yeah. It wouldn't be conducive to that type of environment.
Yeah.
Whereas when you meet a person for the first time as a result of Tinder or whatever it is, it's much more kind of a natural part of that conversation, almost.
Interesting, yeah. So, like, yeah, you're probably wasting less time, so.
Yeah, well, you still, as I said, there's still a needle in a haystack to it, but I certainly found that good, so to speak.
Cool, very good. Interesting. So, for our audience and listeners, you can message us in if you have any thoughts on this segment. Just have a think about it. It's interesting to see what you might suggest.
I would say that's obviously coming across in this podcast, lads, is how incredibly romantic we all are.
100%, yeah.
It is like, I can feel it come to the screen. Suzanne's the happiest woman alive, sure, go on.
But it's a good question to ask. Would you do it all over again? Obviously, my first answer was yes, definitely I would do it all over again. But at least for me, it was tough. You know, you do a long distance relationship, a lot of tears at airports, a lot of self-doubt, another culture, another language.
Yeah.
A lot of trying to, convince yourself this is the right thing to do and it's all for love, while all your friends are out partying. Or there's always the logical part of my brain would say, no way, I would not do it again. But then when it comes to love, who listens to the logical part of their brain?
Yeah, right? But I don't know that there's necessarily, Terence point, I don't know there's necessarily a straight line. Like I think that's part of the problem, that almost from a kind of societal point of view, you think that it's meant to go in a particular order, in a particular way, and certain things are meant to happen by approximate timelines. And then if it doesn't go in that way, in that particular order, with those particular timelines, you start to panic, or, so like, I would have never thought, for instance, I would react to kind of peer pressure or that type of stuff, right? I just thought I was almost immune from it. I now realise, though, looking back, that when Pat and Shane, when both of those got married, and they got married close enough together, that impacted upon me. I didn't realise it at the time, right? But we used to party on Shane's house on a Saturday night, right? He got married, we could kind of no longer do that. That put pressure on me at a subconscious level, I think, to get married and get into a relationship. I wasn't aware of that at the time. I only became aware of it looking back at it. And I think that's actually problematic. So with my kids, I'll be trying to tell them, there isn't a set way or a set route or a set time, whatever's right for you. And
but I think
that could look different to everyone else,
But I think this generation, that people are more open-minded as opposed to our generation, because we kind of had structure, do this. But I think now it's kind of more open,
Yeah,
hopefully.
Which is probably a good thing, you would hope.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Very good. So that's the end of my little segment there. So
anyway, so we thought about bringing our good partners into this part of the section, but we decided against that for everyone's safety. So instead, we said we'd go with another quiz.
Are everyone safe?
Well, I'm asking the question, so I guess it's safe for me, maybe.
Safe for you, Shawnee. Yeah.
Could be a lot of editing done here. It could be a lot of editing, probably. Maybe we'll publish this with a non-edited, uncut version, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the quiz, guys. There's 11 questions altogether.
11.
11. I thought it
Fucking
was only
11, Sean.
Yeah, only
But
two.
they're quick fire, rapid fire questions.
Again, where do you get 11 from?
I'll be getting that. Go on.
We can go with 10 and we can have 11 as a tiebreaker.
10 in a bonus, yeah.
That's rests easier with me, yeah.
So it's straight out 1 point for every question you get right.
Okay.
Well, I haven't won anything on these podcasts yet anyway, so doesn't really matter now at this stage. Go on.
And who's answering on whose partner or wife?
Niall, you'll answer on your partner.
Well,
Aaron will answer your
Well,
partner.
that makes
and
things a
Mike-
bit easier at least, yeah. Oh, Suzanne reasonably well, but you know what I mean?
I mean, by all means, you can switch partners if you want,
Hey, that'd be-
whatever you're into.
It'd be fairly embarrassing if one of the other lads got the
Well-
right answer and you didn't, wouldn't
I thought that's why he rang my wife this morning. Go on anyway.
it? So can we shout out the answer, Shawnee, if he doesn't get it right?
No. This is a quiz where you cannot
Okay.
answer someone else's question.
Can't
You only get the
confer,
same
no?
question anyway, and it's 1 point each.
Right,
Okay.
hit us. Go on.
And as a little extra special, there is a prize for first place, second place, and third place. So whoever comes in first, their better half will get a lovely box of Belgian chocolates.
Okay. So what you're saying, Shawnee, is you'll get all of our wives something for Valentine's and you won't get anything for your own.
Fuck Niall,
You heard it here first on the podcast.
That's definitely been edited.
No,
No,
I
we
didn't know. Go on.
look after that, Charlie.
Better get 4 boxes of chocolates then.
We'll do better.
Second prize then is a lovely kitchen apron with the words on it, "I love your buns." And the third prize goes back, I was inspired by the Welsh culture of the wooden spoons. So the third prize is a wooden spoon in the shape of a heart.
Very good.
Very good.
It's like the rugby, isn't it? It's the Six Nations. The person who gets last gets the
Gets the
wooden
wooden
spoon.
spoon.
Exactly. That were my thoughts. All right, so let's kick off. So we'll go Mike, Aaron, and Niall. Okay?
Okay.
Mike, what is Anne-Marie's favourite colour?
Jesus, I know I'm going to do
Blue?
bad on this.
1 point for Mike. Suzanne's favourite colour?
I actually think it's blue as well.
Wrong. Niall, Ashley's favourite colour? And if you get this, I'll be impressed.
I haven't the foggiest. So that means it's not a fucking straightforward colour. It's because she's an art teacher, it's some colour that sounds. If I get the general shade, how does that work?
No, you need to get it. You need to get a spot on.
Violet.
No. So, Mike, you're in the lead. Do you want to know, Aaron and Niall, what the favourite colour is?
Yeah.
I have another guess. Was it red?
Yeah, you can have another guess, and yes, it was red.
Yes.
I see.
Niall,
What is it, Shawnee?
Niall, think of mermaids.
Jesus, here we go again.
They're
Turquoise.
green or blue or something.
Aquamarine.
For fuck's sake, aquamarine.
Anton
Jesus.
569.
She for fucking real now. Aquamarine.
Very sophisticated one.
Mike, Anne-Marie's
Okay.
favourite movie or TV show?
Oh, Dirty Dancing. Torn between Dirty Dancing now or Pretty Woman for movies.
You have to pick one.
We'll go Dirty Dancing.
1 point for Mike. Aaron, Suzanne's favourite movie or TV show?
She likes Dirty Dancing as well. TV show like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Wheels of Time, Harry Potter, one of them.
You have to give one answer. Jesus.
Yeah, you can't go with a blast, darling. Hope for the best.
We go Buffy, so.
Wrong. Niall, same question.
She made me watch this thing once upon a time called The Princess Bride.
1 point
Which,
for Niall.
Oh, yeah. And it's shite, by the way.
Oh, I think that's a great film. I think it's
No,
great.
Is it?
No, it's
Yeah, it's
not,
very
no,
good.
no.
It's up there with Mermaids, is it?
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, well, no, it's probably better than Mermaids now, in fairness.
Aaron has already left. He's had enough. He's left the
He's-
shot, yeah.
I'm divorced. I can't even go into the fucking hair. Go on.
Well, at least I got a point, Aaron. I would say just aim for 1 out of the 10. If you get there, you'll be doing all right.
So Suzanne's favourite film is, and I'm pleasantly surprised with this answer, is it Star Wars?
Yeah, they're big.
I'm
They're big
pleasantly
Trekkie
surprised
fans.
by that answer as well. I give Suzanne a point on Aaron's behalf. It's the best of the movies.
Yeah, I'm not so
They're
sure.
big Trekkie fans in our house. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it gets a little bit tougher. Mike,
A little bit tougher.
what is Anne-Marie's star sign?
Do I get half a point if I know what
No,
month
there's
she's-
no half points.
No,
What is a star
January.
sign?
So what's January? Is that
Does anyone know the
Capricorn?
star sign?
What did you say, Mike?
is it Capricorn?
Mike is in the...
Will you just give Mike the prize?
Aaron. Well done, Aaron. Press
Third
someone
of,
say-
April, 3rd of
someone-
April, 77. I got one.
Can someone give me a few names of star signs? Sorry, what was Mike's? What was Anne-Marie?
Capricorn.
When's her birthday, Mike? When's your missus'
January.
birthday? And a star sign covers about a couple of months, does it?
No, it covers like
What's Suzanne's, Aaron?
Aries. She's at
What's-
early April.
So it's probably the one in between the two of them, whatever that is.
The clue.
All
There's no other one. I don't know.
I don't know. Give me another one.
I give you a choice 3. You pick one.
All right.
Virgo, Pisces.
So go Virgo.
It's Pisces.
The fish. Go on. Go back to
I should have said think mermaids.
Yeah, you should have given us the fucking star signs to begin with.
All right, okay, this is an easy one. What are Anne-Marie's eyes coloured? No, Aaron,
aqua blue, greeny blue,
Aqua blue.
greeny blue.
one or the other.
Not like they're greeny blue.
Well, no, it is a greeny blue colour,
All
Sean.
right, okay, I'll give you that.
I'm going to go greeny. No, am I? Yeah, I'm going to go greeny blue as well.
I'll give it to you. It's greeny hazel.
Yeah, but you're like, I mean, we're
But you have-
splitting
you have
hairs.
green.
She's 2 eyes. I know that much.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
depends.
So
lads,
give us
it
the
depends.
answers, squad.
It depends. If it's a sunny day, they can be a bit different,
Yeah,
brighter.
but, you know,
It's very hard to see her eyes in the dark.
There's a
for
dominant
instance.
colour.
It's not a hologram. Go on.
All right. These are the worst questions ever, Sean.
Mike is in the lead with 3 points.
Mike,
And-
Mike is this one.
Niall and
Can-
Aaron are
so-
tied second
Where-
place for 2 with 2.
2
One.
points. At a
Can I raise a
stretch.
hand? Can I?
You go? Yeah.
What colour are my wife's eyes?
Green.
See what
Every
Aaron
day's a
did
learning
there, Mikey. Go with a 2. Spread your bets.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Each
All right.
way. That's an each way bet.
50. Go on.
All right. Okay. Now
You
we
kinda
go on.
half
We
it,
go on
right.
to the. I was going to say the medium kind of questions.
By the way, I never got any of these questions, but go on.
Anyway, what is Anne-Marie's shoe size, Mike?
5.5 or 6.
Pick one or the other.
Are women's shoe sizes
6?
the same as men's?
1 point for Mike. No,
Oh.
they're smaller. Well, no, they are. It's the same. It's the same.
But like men's go from generally like your average fella is 9 or 10. My point is, did it go 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5,
it does,
6,
it does.
7?
It's the same scale.
okay.
It's the same
There's
scale.
not some other kind of a rating system. Or
no,
what.
Aaron.
Size 4.
Well done, Niall.
I reckon Ashton is around the same go as Suzanne height wise, so I'm going to go 4 as well.
Can't give it to you, I'm afraid.
What is she?
4.5, 5.
For fuck's sake, 4.5. You okay?
It's 4.5 /
Four.
5. I can't give it to you. You said 4.
So she told you she was 4.5 / 5
5.
rather than 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But should the half is for a big
Well,
toe.
she
So
doesn't
what
deserve
it.
it. She does.
Okay. So, Mike, how does Anne-Marie take her tea, coffee, or favourite drink? Exactly.
She's a big tea drinker, and she takes it in a cup
Very good.
with a good bit of milk, no sugar.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Lots of tea, a soaked tea bag with lots of milk.
Yeah.
Aaron, same question.
In a cup, filled up to the top.
He was just gonna
Good
stop
strong
there, in a
tea and a little drop of milk, not too much milk.
Well done, Aaron. Yeah, and just as a comment from your better half, Aaron has a habit of making half cups of tea. I think he's rationing the water.
Well, I am.
I can confirm that.
Do it this month, but we'll have to ration it in July. Go on.
And same question to you, Niall. What is Ashley's
I'm
favourite?
reasonably confident I can give you 2 correct answers here. So what's that worth to me?
That's
Right,
still
because I've
worth 1
had to
point.
make both of these. So gin and tonic with ice,
Yeah,
right? Because I
Well done.
regularly have to do this for
Yeah.
coffee, black, straight.
yeah, exactly. That's what you got it. You got it.
Okay, so give me 1.5 pints for that.
No, 1 point per question. Now, I think this is my favourite question. What's something that you do which instantly annoys her, Mike?
I'm perfect, so there's nothing I do that annoys my wife.
Again, I can give you several answers to this one.
Okay.
What do I do that instantly annoys my wife? I don't know. I'm drawing a
Pass.
blank.
Okay. You snore the house down, apparently.
There you go.
Oh, Aaron, what doesn't Aaron do that instantly annoys you?
That's a much more difficult question, Johnny.
I think we could actually have a whole episode podcast on this section. Aaron, what do you do that annoys Suzanne?
Well, most things all day, in fairness, but I try my best. I don't know. Maybe in the morning if she's still in bed, I'll get up, open the curtains, and open the windows, and it's fucking freezing outside. I don't know.
That would annoy me. Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
I can't think. Sure, there's probably loads of stuff. Snore a bit maybe, and I don't listen to her. Sometimes I go off. She'll be talking to me, or I'd go off Homer Simpson, like thinking about other stuff. But go on.
Well, no, it's none of those. So obviously the list is quite long, as we pointed out. Boxes. He tends to tidy a room by getting everything that shouldn't be in that room and putting it into a random box somewhere. I lost my gift voucher to Voter Wildlife Zoo that way. And as a bonus point, putting utensils from the dishwasher in random places.
What? Like pillows and stuff?
The whisk in the back room with the pots and pans. I think he's some hide and seek geek.
That's my OCD, but I didn't know it a room for the whisk. I didn't know it.
And Niall, same question.
How
to
many
you.
answers did she give you?
I shot just the one.
Just a one?
Yeah.
Jesus, sure, there's that many things I could pick.
No, but that's a good sign. You should only give one answer. That's a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign because in reality there's about 75. So now I have to pick one from the 75 and get it right. That's way more difficult. I'm going to go with this because it's a recent one. So hanging my jacket on the end of the stairs.
Yes, well done.
Because I knew that would be in her. So when myself and Aisling got together, I spoke to her about lists, right? I said, it's important that we keep a list of the stuff that we like and that we don't like. And we have a conversation about the list every few years and just see how the list has moved and so on and so forth, right? So she said to me, well, I'm not sure we'll have a list where we'll have stuff that we don't like. I said, I can guarantee you will.
What's it with that? It's normal, like, Jesus, on my way.
And she has. So go on.
Okay, question 8. We're almost there. Who would be Anne-Marie's celebrity date? Who would you give the hall pass to?
Fuck.
You get any of these questions.
What's his name? Do you know that movie? It was on over Christmas, actually. The Rock, Sean Connery's in it. And the other guy, Cage. What's his first name? Nicolas Cage.
Oh, same question to you, Aaron.
I didn't get any of these questions.
But you weren't supposed to get these questions.
It was supposed to
Yeah,
be
it's a setup, is what this is.
set up. You've been framed. Let me think. What's the question?
Who would be her celebrity date? Who would you give her a hall pass for?
Oh, Mark Wahlberg.
Harrison Ford in his prime. And Niall.
I really was.
I'll be honest with you, I'd be very disappointed if she's given you an answer here. If she said one of her neighbours, I'd have more respect.
And I have to give you a point for that because she doesn't have one.
I'll be honest with you, that's why I fucking love her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now, did she say one of the neighbours? If she did, you can tell me after the podcast.
I'm surprised she didn't say, the guy on that podcast, what's it called? The FILP podcast. The fellow with the big
guy,
beard,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
our celebrity.
well, I won't be talking to you after this podcast, so go on.
All right. So, anyway, we're on to the final section. What is Anne-Marie's ideal romantic evening, Mike?
I'd say meal out. Yeah,
leaving
meal out.
it at that. So, I just take her to Burger King and that's it.
I know, but he means a restaurant. Shawnee, in fairness.
Drive-thru. Yeah, a meal out and a night away someplace.
If there's food involved in her answer, Shawnee,
Maybe Dingle
give
or
Mike
something
the
like
point.
that,
I give Mike the point. Okay. A dimly lit restaurant, nice food options, followed by a good movie.
There you go.
I think, yeah.
Well, this evening is going to be our ideal evening out. We're going out there in a while, so it's all going to happen this evening.
Yeah. And what is all going to happen?
No, we like going out for a nice bit of grub and maybe go to a pub, listen to a bit of live music, something like that.
I'll give you a point. A meal out and then home to watch a movie. Very similar to Anne-Marie.
Again, it's not going to be straightforward. So she seems to think that like lights or soft lights or something like that is romantic. So I'm going to guess it's something like that is in there. So it could be like a meal in a restaurant with some kind of soft lights or whatever.
I'll give you a point. You've actually given Anne-Marie's answer because that's exactly what Anne-Marie's answer was.
Yeah.
From
Well, how could
and Ashley's answer is dinner out in town with a few drinks.
I think that's, in fairness, she's coming to her senses then, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, exactly.
How could having a meal in a situation that's dark and the light is shite and you can hardly see each other? How is that romantic?
It's just not that dark. Like, there's a bit of light. You can see what you're eating. Like,
No, but you know one of these.
Yeah,
these
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of-
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
This just makes no sense whatsoever.
You can't see the.
You can't see the other person at the mindset of the menu. You could be
You
sitting
can't.
down. You could be sitting down with a stranger. Like,
You can't see the prices on the menu.
my
Why?
eyesight wouldn't be great.
All right. Okay. Question 10, guys.
Yeah.
One guilty pleasure that people wouldn't guess that she has. Mike.
We get divorced after this, guys.
Hey, you had a good start, Mike.
Yeah,
He had a
yeah,
good start,
yeah.
but it's-
I bottomed
blazing
out
the
there
trail.
once it started getting hard. She likes jelly babies.
Good answer, if that's right.
That is a good answer, but it's far from the right answer. And her answer is cannot be mentioned on the podcast, but she is partial to a ginger ale.
Ginger ale is a nice drink.
She is, actually, yes.
I have no idea. West Coast Cooler.
Chocolate.
That was pretty obvious now that you say it.
And Niall, same for you.
Yeah, so whether she said something else or not is beside the point, because I'm going to give you the right answer here, right? So basically, we have whatever 90 channels on the TV, right? She will go through the 90 channels until she finds the absolute greatest shite that's on, and she will watch it, right? Without fail, right? So that is her guilty pleasure. Absolute crap TV.
Very good.
She doesn't have any guilty pleasure that no
Well,
one
she
would
does,
hear.
that's it. I could give you several others as well, but as ever,
But I cannot give you a point for that. Before we get to the final question,
I'm giving myself a point for that.
Mike is on 6, Aaron is on 5, and Niall is on 6 points.
Sorry, I'm on 6.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Oh, no pressure now.
So, which means, Aaron, unfortunately, you will be getting a wooden spoon in the shape of a heart or a heart. in
Gotta be
the
getting
shape
when we
of a
go into
wooden
the house,
spoon on the
anyway.
way home.
Sorry, is Aaron the only one of us taking someone out for dinner this evening to a restaurant
Yes.
for a nice meal and a couple of drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him a fucking
Give him
pint.
the chocolates.
Could do that, all right. But yeah, no, he's getting the wooden spoon. He's last.
All right, okay. Not in my book.
I might enjoy the wooden spoon.
after you've done wiping her bum.
No, go on in.
Oh, tiebreaker question between Mike and Niall.
Okay.
Apart from the wedding day.
Oh, hold on. We're on one quiz each.
You're on one quiz
Yeah.
each, so this will
Yeah.
put you.
So
Whoever
this
gets
is-
this will go
Well,
on
Whoever
top.
gets-
this will be 2 quizzes to 1.
Yeah. Okay. Apart from the wedding day, what's her most memorable moment with you? Either of you can answer.
I
whenever
have
you
to say,
want.
I'll have to say, obviously, birth of our children.
Yeah, you're close, but not exactly.
T-shirt.
Yes.
So do we both get a go? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Well, you don't know what Mike and Anne-Marie's.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't mean to go. in
unless you went
terms
back
of-
to the unless you went back to the start to making.
I'm sorry, I have enough problems myself, you know what I mean? I mean, do I get to answer for myself and Aisling?
Yes, of course.
Right, so the most memorable moment, per se, other than the wedding,
Yeah.
and it has to be cleaned, I'm assuming.
Well, clean-ish now.
I'm going to say the first night we met. It's a guess.
Right. I'm going to give Mike a half point
Okay.
because he said the birth of the kids, but that wasn't exactly it.
What
It
was it?
Was
For
it
Mike,
the
it was-
making of them?
But he's being fierce finicky here, Mike. You could be due a point. Just hold on and we
Yeah,
hear the
yeah.
answer.
I'll give you a half a point.
Half.
It's
point,
finding out when she was pregnant with Lily.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I think a half pint is okay in that
Is
situation.
fair, which would give Mike 6.5 points. And Niall, you said what again?
I said the first night we met.
Unfortunately not.
What did she say?
Your
She gave you a dirty answer, did she?
second date.
Second day.
Our second date.
Yeah.
I,
I don't know. And the winner of the romantic quiz for Friends in Low Places is Mike Carroll with 6.5
Well,
points.
you
Thank you, folks.
In fairness, you
Mad
deserve
Mike,
it,
Mad Mike, fair play to you.
Yeah.
Mike's the most romantic
Dig
of
deep
the
for some of
four.
those answers.
So we got 6, and 5 out of 10. Is that right, Johnny?
6.5, 6 and 5 exactly
Out of 10.
out of 11.
Out of 11. Yeah, but it was 6, 6, 5 out of 10, which, to be honest, I think is
Doesn't matter,
fantastic
so we-
return.
That's not
For you,
bad.
the chase is over, Ted.
Chase is over, Ted. Okay, guys,
Just sorry. Yeah.
I think that's it for
yeah.
for today's episode.
Some viewers,
I'm
send it in
checking
and enjoy the rest of your Valentines. Take care.
And I'll leave you with this quote from Oscar
Nice.
Wilde: "Women are meant to be loved, not to be understood."
Very
There
fair
you go.
point.
That's
All
very
right.
deep.
It's
Bye for now.
Happy Valentine's Day, folks.
Thanks,
yeah.
folks.
Have a good one. Have a nice
Folks.
meal tonight, guys. Be good.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Suppose a ride is out of the question.
Down with this sort of thing. Careful now.